Hello ghosts, ghoulies, and those exploring the realms in between. Today we are going to go over makeup tips and tricks. I've been getting a lot of interest in my makeup looks and presentation recently, and I figured why not put together some of the knowledge that I have around makeup and present it for all of you to feast upon. Really quickly, my name is Ayla Belle. If you have not met me, I have been presenting videos on my transition journey since 2017, and I have since been kind of broadening my spectrum a bit more. Now, just as a quick disclaimer here, I really want to say that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's really unfortunate, and especially when we're young, it unfairly takes us a lot longer to recognize our inner beauty. No one needs to use makeup, and no one needs to follow these rules. A lot of what I'm going to be talking about is what's conventionally seen or recognized as beautiful. I will get into the theory as to why some of that is, but ultimately you are fine the way you are. If you choose to follow these techniques, these are the techniques that a lot of other people who follow beauty practices may use, but you do not need them. Now, first things first, I want to talk about the natural shapes of the face. A big one for me as an artist was learning to identify and understand anatomy. When I was in life drawing, we used to study what was called the Marquard's mask. The Marquard's mask is a facial proportioning as determined by the golden ratio. We see the golden ratio used all over nature, but it is proposed that a face that follows the golden ratio or that shows more symmetry is one that is ideal or shows general health and well-being. When we're looking at a face, we can often see hints of where the eye sockets sit. When we take the same natural shape as a skull and we put this on an emoji or a cartoon, we would typically imagine that this might convey sadness, worriness, or perhaps even a sense of being unwell. Naturally, a flattering eye actually works in the opposite direction. It's going to be narrow and high at the outside of the face, and actually a little more narrow but forward down on the inside as well, being big in the center. These shapes are often compared to cat eyes. And I know that we're jumping around here a bit, but I want to make sure that we are touching on all of the theory of shapes, and a big one of that is brows. We are going to take a straight line or straight object of some kind. We are going to work from the corner of the nose to the inside of the eye, and this shows us where our brow should start. We are going to take this same corner of the nose and we are going to actually line it up with the outside of the pupil. And you want to make sure that you're maybe like a hand's length from your mirror, wherever is taking a look at you. You also want to make sure that it is not using magnetism, because as you can see here, the closer something gets to my face and I am focused in on it, the closer my eyes move in, which is going to throw off our proportioning. So you want to make sure that you've got a good distance in the direction you're looking at. We're going to work off the corner of the nose, as I said, from the outside of the pupil, and this gives us a proposed general area where our arch is going to sit. Now, once more, we are going to work from the outside of the nose to the outside of the eye, and that will give us an idea of where the edge of our brow should fall. Now, really quickly, well-shaped and manicured brows not only help accentuate a flattering look on the eye, but also can give you some space to work with when you're trying to put eyeshadow in or convey the rest of your eye look. For myself, this is why I work with a very highly manicured and thinned eyebrow, because it gives me a lot more real estate to play with, and a big eye often, again, conveys this sense of health, well-being, flattering, attractive, however you want to put it. Now, to quickly tackle winged liner, there are a few different approaches, and everyone ultimately is going to find their own way. But all of these techniques I'm about to show you have been wildly successful for me at one point or another in the past couple years. First things first, we are going to work with something sweet and simple. I'll try and bring you in. For this simple technique, what I'm ultimately going to do is I'm just going to follow the lower lash line and then just kind of gradually pull that out. It doesn't matter if I don't get it exactly perfect, because I can ultimately end up cleaning that up. Once I have determined where my line is, I will curve from the inside of the lash line, trying to keep very tight all the way to the outside, just kind of cleaning it up as I go along. I will fill it in and connect it. And a part of why I love these brush liners is that I can get these really refined points on my wing, and then I will just fill it in and create the arch. And as you can see, it's a cute little cat eye look is what we would call this. It kind of goes under where my hooded eye is, so I don't have to worry about it really being too overwhelming. Ultimately, the goal of what we're trying to do here with eyeliner and the wing liner specifically is we are trying to accentuate the lashes, make them look bigger, fuller, and by making it a little wider on the top on the outside, rather than my eye looking like it's slanting out, it will give the illusion that it's actually higher. Now, another technique that we can do when we are doing wing liner is we can actually take the inside of the eye as well, and we're gonna just follow that down ever so slightly. Now, a lot of the times I'll just leave the line there, and when I do my pencil for my waterline, I will then connect it there. Or you can actually make it a little bigger and draw a triangle right in there and fill it in if you want to. So when I take my pencil now, I will ultimately connect both sides of this. And this not only helps accentuate that the eye is a little higher on the outside, but that it is pointed a little more downward and larger on the inside as well. So I have quickly removed that look now. The opposite of cat eye is puppy eye. And instead of following the lower lash line up, we're gonna follow the upper lash line a tiny bit down. And once more, we just follow up top, work our way out. And as you can see, it is already looking very cute. And then, of course, again, you can either add the inner corners or a lower lash line just to try and help connect it and fill that out once more. For people with heavily hooded eyelids, they will find that this will likely work a lot better for them than most other wings. Now, this next trick is going to be particularly helpful, especially if we've already got a full face of makeup on, and we're going to continue working with the line from the outer ridge of the nose to the outer eye to the edge of the brow. But ultimately what we are doing is we're going to take a plastic card, gift card, whatever, and we are going to line that up, and I'm going to make a bit of a crease just along where the edge of the eye is. It gives me enough of an indentation that I can see what line I'm going to want to follow, where I have the freedom to do a nice big insane wing. Now you'll notice that I've stopped here at the crease. I'm going to do the upper lash line first. Now when my eye is open and I'm looking forward, I'm gonna want to make sure that connects. So you can see when I'm looking straight at you, it looks very cohesive, it looks very big, and my hooded eye does not interfere with this. This next technique is maybe not so great if you have a full face of makeup unless you're willing to do a little touch up, but if you're doing your big eyes before you kind of get into a full face, I highly recommend tape. But again, we are using the same concepts. We are going to be following the outside of the nose to the outside of the eye. I just want to make sure I get under my eyelashes and don't catch those. Now, I don't need to worry about getting all of the tape down. A lot of the times I would work with smaller tape. And once I have that, I can literally just draw a thick line right over the edge of the tape. Now, something that's nice about this is if you find that you're someone with shaky hands, maybe you got the party started a little bit too early, you do not have to worry about having steady hands. And I'm just gonna attempt and see how much I've got these looking like sisters. And honestly, actually, that's not really bad at all. That's pretty well matched. I do have the one side sharper than the other, but that's always something I could touch up if I was really being a perfectionist. Yeah, you can see really clear already how easy these tricks are to give you nice bold wings and really try and spice your look up a little more. Give it some framework, give it some pizzazz. Obviously, add in your eyeshadow. Now, I typically would do eyeshadow before I do my wings. Through the various tricks and experiences that I've had over the years, I just find that laying down the eyeshadow first allows me to then put on the wings and just make it crisp. And if I have any concerns about transfer, like right here, I've got some transfer onto my lid, I could have prevented that by having the eyeshadow first and then just tapping the eyeshadow on top of the liner once I did it, and that will help reduce any transfer. But I find that my eyeliner always looks way crisper doing it afterwards. Now, I might just try and work this off of what I already have on my face, but I want to convey something as well that I have found to be very interesting. You streak your makeup look down and it makes you look a little more sickly or ill or so. We see sometimes in e-girl fashion that they will actually red the edge of their nose to make them look a little more sickly because they think that sometimes it can be flattering to look like you have a cold without actually having a cold. So there are ways of using makeup to convey and work against what might be conventionally pretty or beautiful. But again, it's understanding the shapes of the face that allows us and empowers us to be creative and find new ways of exploring makeup. I'm gonna quickly take my Q-tip here and take off the edge of my brow, and I want to try something fun here. Now, a point of reference that I found in my face is this corner here. It's gonna be a little different for everyone. Maybe you have a similar corner to me. Maybe you have a beauty mark. Ultimately, I find that a lot of my eye shape always tends to point in this region high up here, kind of where I've got this ridiculous zit right now. Very nice, very happy to show that off. So why don't I just point right to it and highlight what the heck I've got going on over there. Now, with a big bold wing like this, I like it to be very bold. And once again, I'm definitely going to be working off of that concept that when I am looking forward, it lines up and not worry about it necessarily doing so up here. Now, normally when I'm doing an eyeshadow look, I will do primer first. In this case, I am just kind of showing off something fun. I'm just going to be using my Jeffree Star Weirdo palette. Now, if I'm also going to be doing this bold on the outside, it can sometimes look a little ridiculous unless I match it to the inside. I hope that seeing someone put something big and ridiculous like this together gives you the freedom to like sit down and actually play and explore with your makeup. Something that I have found a lot of fun with a big insane look like this is I can take a light color of one thing and really play off like a kind of two-tone look. And then I'm gonna take my punchy red color and I'm gonna throw that up over top. So we're kind of playing off this like two-tone. I've got this like bluish purpley underneath and I've got this like insane red going on over top. Like, how fun. How cool is this already? Like, I haven't even done anything super magical. And then, because I am still working with the shapes of the eye, I will also take another darker red and punch that into the crease. And then, when all else fails, I just take some black and again help throw that in the crease, follow my liner a bit, and this just does some wild things with the eye all together. Normally I would also hit a little white down first right under the brow just to kind of help create that look of lift and just accentuate some fun there, but it helps again create that smoked out effect. And honestly, this is the fun of makeup. Like, you would think that that would look insane. It looks insane when it's just on one eye, but you would think that it would look insane to do this in general. Anyways, long story short, this is all of the tips and tricks that you need to know about makeup when you're trying to design fun looks, when you're trying to come up with cute looks to take out to the club. I know that I'm showing off a lot of boldness here that maybe a lot of other people might not like to delve into, but that being said, if you have found my channel, chances are you are looking for something a little punchy, a little bold, a little in your face, and there is nothing wrong with that. Take a moment when you're doing your makeup to worship yourself, remind yourself that you are untouchable and that you are someone to be respected, listened to. If you're not finding that, you know, those people can find the door. You've got a whole life to lead. Go out there, go forth, march on, take the world by storm. Have a wonderful Halloween, and I hope that some of this can help you come up with a look or something that makes you feel empowered this spooky season. Till next time.